Imagine this for a moment. You sit down on your couch after a long day. You pick up the remote. You turn on your TV. But instead of the same familiar Apple TV interface you have seen for years, something feels instantly different. Faster, smarter, more alive. The menus glide instead of loading. Recommendations feel oddly accurate. The screen seems to understand what kind of mood you are in before you even say a word. And in that moment, you realize this is not just a new Apple TV. This is Apple quietly redefining what the living room is going to be for the next decade. Because the Apple TV 4K 2025 is shaping up to be far more than a simple streaming box refresh. Based on leaks, supply chain reports, and insider chatter, Apple is not just upgrading specs here. Apple is rebuilding the Apple TV from the inside out. And if even half of these leaks turn out to be true, this small black box could become one of the most important devices Apple has released in years, not because it is flashy, but because it sits at the center of daily life. To understand why this upcoming Apple TV matters so much, you need to look at Apple's broader strategy. Over the last few years, Apple has been slowly shifting away from devices that exist on their own and toward products that act as hubs. The iPhone became the hub for personal communication. The Apple Watch became the hub for health. The Mac became the hub for work. And now, Apple wants the Apple TV to become the hub for the home. At the heart of this transformation is the processor. Current Apple TV models use the A15 chip, which is already more powerful than what most streaming devices will ever need. But the Apple TV 4K 2025 is rumored to make a massive leap to the A17 Pro chip. This is the same class of chip found in the iPhone 15 Pro lineup. And that single change alone completely reshapes what the Apple TV is capable of. The A17 Pro is built on a more advanced process. It delivers massive gains in CPU performance, GPU power, and efficiency. For a living room device, this is almost unheard of. No competing streaming box even comes close. This effectively turns the Apple TV into a console-class machine that happens to sit under your TV. Ray tracing, advanced graphics pipelines, machine learning acceleration, all inside a device that most people still think of as just for Netflix. And Apple is not stopping there. Leaks suggest the new Apple TV will finally move to 8 GB of RAM. That may not sound dramatic on paper, but it is double what previous models offered. And in practice, it changes everything. Apps can stay resident in memory. Games can load instantly. Switching between streaming apps becomes seamless. Siri responses feel immediate. The entire tvOS experience becomes fluid in a way that makes older models feel slow by comparison. This extra memory also gives developers room to breathe. For years, Apple TV apps have been limited by tight performance ceilings. With A17 Pro power and 8 GB of RAM, developers can finally build richer interfaces, more complex games, and smarter background processes without worrying about slowdown. Apple Arcade, in particular, stands to benefit the most. Right now, Apple Arcade is often seen as a casual gaming service. Fun, but not serious. The new Apple TV could change that perception entirely. With console-level graphics, fast storage, controller support, and low-latency rendering, Apple Arcade could start delivering experiences that feel much closer to traditional console games. No downloads that take hours. No loud fans. No bulky hardware. Just pick up a controller and play. Will it replace a PlayStation or Xbox for hardcore gamers? Probably not. But for families, kids, casual players, and people who just want to play without friction, the Apple TV could quietly become the most used gaming device in the house. Networking is another major area where Apple appears ready to leap ahead. The Apple TV 4K 2025 is rumored to include Apple's new N1 wireless chip with full Wi-Fi 7 support. This is a huge deal. Wi-Fi 7 offers significantly higher speeds, lower latency, and better stability, especially in homes filled with smart devices. If you have ever dealt with buffering during a 4K movie, lag during AirPlay, or drop connections during screen mirroring, this upgrade alone could be worth it. With Wi-Fi 7, the Apple TV could stream high bitrate content effortlessly handle cloud gaming with minimal lag, and maintain strong connections and in crowded wireless environments. But speed is only part of the story. The real transformation begins when you combine this hardware with Apple Intelligence. According to leaks, Apple is planning to bring its next-generation AI features directly into the Apple TV experience. This goes far beyond basic voice commands. Siri is expected to evolve into a context-aware assistant that understands habits, preferences, schedules, and even emotional cues. Imagine saying, "Find something light to watch tonight," and getting recommendations that actually make sense. Not just popular shows, but content tailored to what you have enjoyed recently, how long you want to watch, and even the time of day. Imagine asking for a movie you can finish before bedtime, or a show that matches your mood after a stressful day. This is the level of intelligence Apple appears to be targeting. Apple Intelligence could also dramatically improve content discovery. Instead of endless scrolling, the Apple TV could surface exactly what you want before you even realize you want it. That is the kind of experience Apple has been chasing for years. AI-powered video upscaling is another rumored feature that could have a massive impact. Older movies and TV shows were never designed for modern 4K and 8K displays. With advanced machine learning, the Apple TV could sharpen details, improve contrast, stabilize motion, and enhance dynamic range in real time. This would make older content look significantly better without altering the original artistic intent. For users with large digital libraries or fans of classic shows, this alone could be a game changer. One of the most surprising rumors surrounding the Apple TV 4K 2025 is the possibility of a built-in camera. If this turns out to be true, it would mark a major shift in Apple's approach. Until now, Apple has relied on continuity camera using the iPhone. A built-in camera would make FaceTime on the TV effortless. You could simply say, "Hey Siri, FaceTime Mom," and instantly start a call on the big screen. No phone mounts, no bidding, no setup, just a natural extension of communication. Even more interesting is the possibility of gesture control. Leaks suggest Apple is exploring hand-based interaction. Simple gestures to pause, play, skip, or adjust volume. This might sound futuristic, but it aligns perfectly with Apple's work on spatial computing and Vision Pro. If done well, gesture control could make the remote optional for many tasks. It could also improve accessibility for users who struggle with traditional controls. And it opens the door to entirely new ways of interacting with content. Now let's talk about pricing, because this is where things get truly shocking. Multiple reports suggest Apple may price the new Apple TV under $100. That would be a dramatic shift. Historically, Apple TV has been positioned as a premium streaming device. Pricing it this aggressively would signal a strategic move, not a profit-driven one. Apple makes most of its money from services. Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, Fitness Plus, iCloud. By lowering the cost of entry, Apple can massively expand the number of households using its ecosystem daily. The Apple TV becomes a gateway, a services engine, a long-term investment. This pricing strategy makes perfect sense when you consider the Apple TV's evolving role as a smart home hub. For years, Apple TV has quietly served as the backbone of HomeKit. With the upcoming model, that role could expand dramatically. With A17 Pro performance and Apple Intelligence, the Apple TV could manage cameras, door locks, lights, thermostats, sensors, and appliances from a single unified interface. Imagine the Apple TV automatically adjusting lighting based on time of day, locking doors when everyone goes to bed, detecting unusual activity through connected cameras, optimizing energy usage, all happening quietly in the background. This is not about flashy features. This is about convenience, about reducing friction in daily life. The rumored release window of October or November 2025 fits perfectly with Apple's strategy. The holiday season is when families gather, when people watch more movies, when gaming increases, when smart home devices are purchased. The Apple TV becomes an easy gift, affordable, useful, deeply integrated. And while the Apple TV may never generate the hype of an iPhone launch, its impact could be even greater. It is always on, always connected. Always present. It sits at the center of the home in a way no other Apple device does. If Apple delivers on these leaks, A17 Pro performance, 8 gigabytes RAM, Wi-Fi 7, Apple Intelligence, potential camera and gesture control, smart home dominance, and aggressive pricing, then the Apple TV 4K 2025 will not just be an upgrade. It will be a statement. In my opinion, this could be one of Apple's smartest products in years. Not because it pushes boundaries in obvious ways, but because it quietly becomes essential. It blends into daily routines. It simplifies life. It makes technology feel less like technology and more like an invisible assistant. If Apple executes this correctly, competitors will struggle to keep up. While others focus on cheap streaming sticks, Apple is building the digital brain of the modern home. And that is why this small box matters so much. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future updates.